Hello friends, today I'm going to show you how to install Anaconda distribution into your system. So before that, let us understand what exactly is Anaconda distribution. So it's a free open source distribution for R and Python programming languages. Basically, these languages we use them to run large scale data processing, your predictive analysis, or any data science projects. So since this distribution is free and open globally, and there are more than 25 million users using this distribution, and this is the easiest way to learn Python programming language as well as to step into the world of data science and machine learning. So one of the advantage of having this distribution is it is quite easy with respect to any of your operating system. It could be your Windows, it could be Linux or Mac OS. So it is available for all the operating systems, and also it is easy to have virtual environments, and it houses uh, lots and lots of pack modules which you can easily install them using the famous pip command or a conda package. So even the advantage of having this distribution is that the basic conda command helps us to install and work with different environments very easily. So with this thought in mind, so let me directly take you to my browser and show you how to install this Anaconda distribution. So in order to download it, first what you do is all you have to do is go to Google and type Anaconda download, and you have to click on the first link here where it's written individual edition. So I'm here in the home page of individual edition, and you can see that it has more than 25 million users, and you can click the download button here. So it will take you to all the way to download. Based on your system's configuration, you can choose whichever the link is feasible for you to download. I use 64-bit operating system with Windows, so I'm going to click this to download. So I'm just going to pause it because I have already downloaded it. It's around 500 MB. It takes a lot of time to download over live. So I have already downloaded it in the background. So while this is running, I'm going to show you why exactly we need to, okay, so I'm just gonna accept it. It's just me. Always it's best to keep in the recommended options, and you have to install this package wherever your operating system is, whichever drive you have your operating system. Mine is in the C drive, so I'm going to install in C drive. So the package is installing. So in the meantime, I'm going to show you why exactly we need this package. As you can see, okay, I'm just going to go back. So earlier it said that it is easiest way to perform both Python and R programming language, but in this course we are going to focus only on the Python programming language and not R. One of the reason is because if you Google the list of most on-demand, in-demand programming languages for data science, you can see that Python is on the top of the list, followed by JavaScript, Java, and then R. So based on the present trend, Python is the topmost and most preferred programming language across the industry. So that's why we are going to focus on Python. So installation is still taking place. Let us wait for the installation to complete. So the installation is now complete. I'm just going to click next and finish this installation. So now the installation has been completed, and I'm going to start with Anaconda. The system is a little bit slow. Apologies for that. Yes. So once you open Anaconda Navigator, you're going to get this interface. So here you can see there are a lot of applications. Every application is unique in its own way to run your data science problems. So here the most important application will be this the Jupyter notebooks. So what you have to do is so once you install Anaconda, here you see that these two applications are already installed. You can directly launch them, but to start our journey with data science, you will not find this application useful. So the most important application will be the Jupyter Notebook, which you need to install here just by clicking. So it has started installing now. So once you install it, you can directly click on launch. So the Jupyter Notebook does not have any supporting software or something. It will directly open in your browser. So this is a page you get here. So this is the home page which shows you the list of files. So basically, since you have installed it in C drive, so it has opened all the folders available in C drives, and here you can create a separate folder to work on your data science projects. You can name the folder as data science, or you can name it as Python, or whatever you call it as. So just for the sake of demo, I'm going to open downloads and create a notebook here. So in order to create the notebook, you can click here, new, and click on Python 3. So if you, whenever you want to quit this program, what you can do is the notebook which you are working on, you can just go to File, Close and Halt. So this particular page, the notebook is going to save and it's going to halt. Then you can come back to the home screen and click Quit. So I'll show you how to quit in practice. So before that, this is let me give you a brief about the Jupyter Notebook. So basically, this is the interface. So what you're going to get while working on your data science problem. So here you can rename the file name. You can just give it as demo underscore one. So this is my file name. To be on the safer side, is always better to not include any spaces in your file name. And here you're going to, this is a cell where you're going to write your code. You can always convert it down to your markdown where you can write your text to give idea about what code it is, what exactly you're doing. So I'm just going to show you. So these are the only two options which you will be using more often. Don't bother about these two. So as and when you go to the advanced level, you might use it, or maybe you can just stick with these two. So I'll just keep it in code for now, and I'll just type I'll just create a variable called num equal to I'll assign the number 4. So I have just typed a simple code where I'm assigning the number 4 into the variable num. In order to run the code, you can just click on run, or in your keyboard you can dial shift and enter at the same time. So the code has run here, it has shown over here. But in order to view this, you can just type num and run it. You can see the output here. Basically, there are two types of outputs. The output which you get with the function out, or you can use the print function. So it's lowercase print followed by the variable, and you run it, you can see the output here. So this doesn't have any out symbol in it. The basic difference is that the output with this particular symbol, it says that it will only, even though it will run the whole program, it will only output the last line or the last command. But whereas when you use the print function, it will output the whole program. Wherever you give the print, it's going to output everything from it. So I'm just going to show you, like give you as num equal to 4 and abc equal to 5. So when I run this, I have assigned the number 4 in num variable and number 5 in abc variable. If I have to view this, so when you run abc together and if I run it, it only shows the output stored in the variable abc. It will not going to show here. But if I use the print option, print num and print abc and run both, you can see the output stored in both the variables. So this is a basic idea about the cells and the type of output what you can gain. So I'm just going to show you about the function, as in when you and run a cell, it will automatically insert a new cell, or else you can use this insert command to insert the cells below. Or if you want to insert a cell above, you can go to edit and you can find the option here, which is, I'm sorry, it's in insert. So you can insert the cell above or insert the cell below. So if you're running a program and you got stuck, or you have put the program in loop, you can use the interrupt kernel to interrupt the kernel, or you can give kernel the restart to totally restart it. In that case, it's totally going to remove all the output. Now if I just simply run this, it is not going to give any output because the kernel is totally refreshed. So whenever you assign a variable, or when you assign anything into the variable, it's going to store in your RAM. So when you refresh your kernel, whatever the variables which were stored in your RAM is totally going to get deleted, and due to that you have to run the program from the beginning. So the option would be to give restart and run all. So where it will run from the beginning, and there you are. So I'm just going to close this file, close and halt. So leave, and I'm going to quit here. The server has been stopped, so I can just close it. Let us learn. So hope it is clear to you on how to install Anaconda in your system. And moving forward, there's another option to run the Python programming or your data science project without installing any software into the system. But this is totally cloud-based system. So what you're going to do is you need to run Google Colab in your search, and you have to click on this link. I mean colab.research.google.com. You can click on this, So please keep this in mind that whenever you want to run a Google Colab, please make sure that you are logged in into the Google through your Gmail or Gmail ID, because whatever you're going to work, it's going to share, save it in your Google Drive. So here you can click on new notebook. So as I explained earlier, here you can change the file name and you can give a save option, save a copy in drive or a save. So once you save it, it will be directly saved in your Google Drive. You can just go to the Google Drive and access the file from there. More or less, with respect to Anaconda and Google Drive, more or less all the commands are same. Maybe you might see some improvements here and there, like the code and text cells. Earlier you had an option here, but whereas here you have a code and cell separately. And apart from that, you might find in your certain changes in your online, but in order to begin with the coding, it's better to stick with offline mode, like where you install Anaconda Navigator and run few programs in your system. So once you are clear with the interface and the notebook, and also about learn few little bit basic, then you can come migrate to Google Colab and keep all your programs in the drive. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you so much, and I hope you are clear with the tools used to practice data science. Thank you.